Ladies and gentlemen, all aboard the short bus to hell. Please remember when boarding to keep your hands and feet inside the ride at all times. We are not responsible for missing items, brain lesions, cardiac arrest, the abandonment by a loved one, exploding kittens, or world domination by little green men. We will take credit for a good time and the occasional moistness you might feel at varying locations of your person. This ride may not be for everyone, and if that's you, please find the nearest window to throw yourself from the vessel. Buckle up and enjoy.
Welcome to Great Friends, Okay People. I am, as usual, one whole half of your host, Anthony, and I am joined by someone who watches porn in the Best Buy parking lot.
Why do you tell these people these things that don't actually happen? My name is Cody, and I was watching a cosplay video, not porn, and I don't remember who sent me the cosplay video, but wasn't it you?
But it wasn't the content that you were looking at that was the issue. It was more so how you reacted to someone sneaking up on you.
Oh shit, you're right.
While you were
God,
looking at it.
I was waiting for my Best Buy order, and she just comes to the window and scared the shit out of me. And I was like, "Oh, sorry." And she's like, "It's okay." And they handed me the box and walked away, and I have thought about it every day since. So
It haunts you like when the fast food window girl says, "Enjoy your food," and you're like, "Thanks, you too."
I've done that so many times, and it never ever leaves me pacing up at night.
Always a part of me is always like, "Oh shit, do I owe her a piece of my burger now?" Do I have to go back and tear it off and be like, "I said have a good piece of my burger"?
I mean, I guess at least at that point it's an indication that we're good people.
Yeah, sure, that's what that is. That's what it is. Sorry about all of the excessive coughing that you're going to hear. Obviously, anyone who is avidly waiting for episodes to come out will know that we have been sick and down and out for the past week. We were going to try to get better, but by the time recording time came around, things were still bad, and we both got taken out by probably norovirus.
And mold poisoning, and
then you're like, "I'm good now. I think we can do this thing." And then you're like, "Nope, I can't stop spewing out of both ends."
Oh my god, it was terrible yesterday. I have not puked as much in my entire life than I have just, the last 2 months? Was it the projectile vomiting 2 months ago?
Yeah.
I've never done that in my entire life. And that was, I think, a side effect from some medicine I was taking at the time. And then now, puking in the tub while I was sitting on the toilet. Like, who the fuck? I think the term is vom shit.
Is that a word?
Yeah, it's a term. I've heard people use it before, and can't even believe I'm talking about this on a podcast. But, yesterday was one of those days, and I couldn't control it. And it happened 3 fucking times. But I'm good now.
As I said, but we're fine-ish. We're still going to cough at you. We're still going to, well, at least I'm going to sniffle because I've got this never-ending sinus infection from hell since November that won't go away. And then the cough is triggered by laugh for both of us. And I thought I was the only one that suffered long-period coughs. Like, every time I get sick and it comes with a cough, I just start dying for 3 weeks to a month afterward, and I can't stop coughing, and then eventually it just goes away magically.
Yeah, it just randomly goes away. I'll have my inhaler and everything, and it's still just not fucking working. It doesn't help that I have a dog that sheds a lot, and there's dander everywhere, so maybe that's part of it, but...
It's not 5 fucking cats under one roof.
So. Did you see his ears perk up? He's like, ooh, cats.
So we're back as much as we can be. So if you are a return listener, we appreciate you coming back. Was a little bit of a rough joke last episode, defending Bill Cosby and saying that he was a victim because women didn't appreciate when he helped spice up their drinks. Turns out that's not a joke for everybody. It is hard to laugh at date rape. So if you are back with us, thank you for taking it better than those women did.
Oh my god. Oh shit!
And so that's where we're gonna start off this week's episode.
Okay, well apparently we're just hitting the ground running. Wow.
Don't worry, I'll find some way to up the ante and we'll figure out how to top Bill Cosby being a victim.
And he's not going to let you down either because he will always find a way to top what he says. Consistently throughout the week, I will type the word Tony in caps or say what the actual fuck or some other variation.
Oh my fucking God, it's usually
that one too. And he just will always find a way to top what he says.
I got some Nazi jokes if we really need to kick it.
We're not going that route yet because somebody was just talking about how a certain politician just mentioned that he was an okay guy and he did some okay things. So we are not even going to touch Nazis right now.
All right. Well, fair enough. So other than being sick and dying and what was the phrase you used? Vom puking or vom
shit.
Vom shitting. I feel like we can come up with a better name for it.
It's the only one I've ever heard.
We'll come up with it. We'll workshop it out. Other than that, and the week of death, how was things?
Terrible. Well, I missed out on going to Seattle for work, which is a double-edged sword because I don't want to travel.
Right.
I don't want to go across the country right now. But even being back at work today, my whole team was like, oh my God, we miss you so much, blah, blah. And I'm seeing everybody have their all new headshots and everything. And I'm like, oh, I'm missing out on some of these things. So it was kind of a letdown that I got sick as much as I did. But it also was kind of my own doing because I was asking the universe for an excuse not to go.
You really were. You were like, I don't want to go to Seattle. And I'm like, well, why would it be that bad? And you're like, it'll just be a bunch of like boring conferences and stuff. And you're like, I'm gonna use this cough that I have as an excuse not to go.
And I literally woke up the next day and could not fucking function. Yeah. And I had to give my dog to my parents for a couple days.
You got to go away on a sleepover where we got spoiled the shit out of and then brought back to you.
Yep. And he now is just sitting right here at my feet. So if you hear some random like pats, it's because I'm petting my dog. Which I was really surprised at how well it went over with him eating you. Because even my cousin, who he adores, it took a minute for her to get met and become friends with.
Well, that's what I was worried because you gave me this entire set of instructions for meeting him, and you're like, so you're gonna meet him outside, and you're gonna give him a treat, and you're gonna throw his toy. Like you had a whole ritual.
Yeah, that's definitely the ritual that it is. But I mean, I was very surprised. I think it's because you gave him 2 treats right off the bat.
And I was like...
And I think it also might have something to do with like that we're like the same size.
I was like, I don't have any treats on me except Girl Scout cookies. I don't think that's going to go well.
No.
And it's like, I do have like a stray spaghetti noodle left over from my lunch yesterday still sitting in my car. Like, I could throw the spaghetti noodle.
Just toss it. I probably could get away with pretending like I threw a treat and he would still think it was somewhere out in the yard. Because he is just such a treat hound. He thinks that everything is something that he can eat. I'm really surprised because I think that from what I got sick from the other day, yesterday, was food poisoning, but a lot of what I ate, he also ate and didn't have any problems.
He's just got a fucking tank of a stomach.
Which is hysterical because he has usually normally really, really sensitive stomach where he's like allergic to poultry and everything. But he didn't have any issues, so I'm wondering if it was norovirus. But, yeah. I'm glad that we're not sick anymore.
Yeah, it took our family out too. There was a period of like 2 days where Kristen, me, and the 2 younger children were just laying about on the couch, just smushed together in a pile of sick debris.
Your oldest didn't get sick?
I think he's what kicked it off. Because you remember that when you came over to my house that weekend, or the week before, not like the whole week, but like it was like a weekday, 2 days ago, or before that or whatever. He was sick before that. Like right before that, where he stayed home from school. Kristen asked me if I thought he was faking it or if I thought he needed a day off. And I was like, I'm at work. I can't tell you what he's doing. And I said, you use your judgment. Tell me if it's bad enough for him to miss. And she said, yeah, he's not really acting like himself. So I think he was there for like a day or two. He had a slump, but he kind of bounced back really quickly. And then you came over like that second day, and we had pizza and everything. We're hanging out with them. And then all of a sudden, everyone went to shit after that.
So I wonder if I really got sick from him.
Maybe. It might have been him who passed it on to all of us.
And then the mold poisoning exacerbated it for me.
Yeah, so we were just like 2 days we spent just letting the house go to shit.
Oh.
Just toys everywhere, no fucks to be found anywhere. I couldn't stay conscious for super long. I kept falling asleep just wherever I was laying. I kept getting really bad lower back pain from sitting for too long, but I couldn't do anything about it.
Oh, I was getting lower back pain because my kidneys were in overdrive.
It was bad. And then the one day I stayed home 2 days from work, which was bad for me. I had to use personal time to stay home and not lose the pay. And I took Trace to school and picked him up the second day because I was feeling a little bit more human, more than Kristen was, because the day before she was better than I was. And so she was kind of taking care of everyone. And then the next day she took a shit. Well, I mean, her health took a shit. She probably did too at some point. I don't know. She doesn't contain a log like I do. So I don't.
Women
know.
don't poop.
They don't poop. I don't believe that for a second. That woman fucking shits like a Clydesdale. I don't necessarily hear it, but I hear the preceding noises before she goes into the bathroom.
Oh my god.
But so the next day I took Trace to school and I picked him up, and I told you about it, but I didn't tell a lot of people.
Well, the world's about to know.
Yeah, so I picked him up from school, and he's sitting in the back seat, and he just, sometimes he gets in a real talkative mood after school. Sometimes he doesn't want to talk about school at all. He doesn't give two shits about it. Sometimes he wants to talk about how his day went. And so I listened when he was telling me about his day. And first he starts the conversation with, do you know what my 3 favorite subjects are in school? And I said, well, no, this will be a learning moment about my kid. I don't know anything about him. Well, I don't know anything about him. It's not like I walked into his life yesterday.
Nothing you don't know about
I actively try not to pay attention because it just fucking annoys the shit out of me.
Oh my god.
And he goes, so my 3 favorite subjects in school are gym. And I was like, okay. I also like playing gym games, so that's a good one. And he's like, extra period, which is a free time where they're not doing anything. I'm like, that's not really a subject. That's more of a free period.
Lunch.
No, not lunch. He goes, would you consider going home to be a subject? I said, it's a part of my work day I look forward to.
So he is ahead of the curve. He's learning what the adults learn.
Yeah.
A hard lesson about later on.
And then we're just cruising along, going to Walmart, and we have to go pick up some shit to take home, some medicine and all that. And he goes, you know that thick ass bit, and he cuts himself off, and I was like, what? He said, that thick ass girl Tori. I'm like, no, that's not what you were going to say. I said, first off, I don't know who this Tori is, but the fact that you've chosen to name her thick ass bitch.
And he stopped himself. I love that he's self-regulated. I've never heard him self-regulate before.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was like, he was like, oh, let me tell you about this bitch that I hate at school. But like, he was like, I can't say too much. I was surprised he said thick ass like that. He's a 3rd grader. He's not like a middle schooler where they're coming up with all these nicknames for other kids and shit. And I said, first of all, we don't talk about people like that. at least I don't let you know. We don't talk about people. And I said, you can't call her thick ass bitch. Like, that's not very nice. You can't be mean to kids. I said, what did she do that was so mean that you have to call her thick ass bitch Tori? And he goes, well, she was choking other kids. I'm like, what do you mean?
Like full on grabbing them?
Yeah, she was like grabbing them by the throat with both hands. I said, what do you mean she was choking them? He said, we were playing Duck, Duck, Goose in school earlier. I don't know if it was like free time or if it was recess or whatever it was. I assume it was recess. And he goes, she was choking kids. And I said, she understands that Duck, Duck, Goose doesn't have a point where you choke other people out.
Right. There is no... What?
And he goes, yeah, she was just being mean, and she was also biting a bunch of other kids too. I'm like, what the fuck is happening in the school? I said, well, did you tell the teacher?
Is she the same age?
Yeah, I think she was also a 3rd grader. And I said, well, did you tell the teacher about it? And he goes, well, yeah, but she told the teacher that it was our fault she had to choke him.
I choked them, but they made me do it. It was their fault.
Right.
You know, like, what?
I don't know what justification you used to explain that your actions that were horrendous and harmful was because of other people's doing. Especially in Duck, Duck, Goose. I don't know if maybe like the goose was... is that what the... no, the goose is the person that the picker chooses. Is there a title for the person that's doing it? The it person?
I think they're the goose at the time.
But they do... And then they pass it on being a goose so they can sit down?
Yeah.
Okay, so the prior goose who's in the selecting process of the other goose... I wonder if they were too fast and they kept picking her because she's a bigger girl. My son called her thick ass, so I have to assume she's a bigger girl. And when he initially tried to label this person to tell me who he's talking about, and he chose the word thick ass bitch, I was like, well, no, you can't say that about people. But then after he told me that she's going around choking out and biting other people, I'm like, I don't know. This bitch might be
justified.
it might be kind of like an ogre type situation. Just a bunch of kids trying to play, and
Oh my god! If her name was Fiona, that'd be even better.
Just a bunch of kids trying to play Duck, Duck, Goose in school, and we just got this big ogre of a girl fucking choking people out.
It wasn't my fault I was choking them out. They made me do it. Well, what did they do? I want to know.
Right.
I need more to the story. We need to ask your oldest.
We need to. I wonder. I would call him, but his phone he never like tentative to it. He's always got it anywhere else but in his hands. And then when you don't need him, and that's when he's constantly calling and texting you.
Yeah, sounds like my mother.
We could try real quick. Oh, I don't have my phone on me.
Ooh. He will probably answer a number he doesn't know.
I don't know what his phone number is.
Oh God.
I'm gonna try to call him on Facebook Messenger though.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe if we can get his side of it. All right.
You better answer.
Let's see if we can get an explanation. Hey, buddy. What you doing?
What?
What you doing?
Why?
I had a question for you.
What?
So, Tori, the girl that was choking and biting people during Duck, Duck, Goose.
Yeah.
Why was she choking and biting people?
Well, she wasn't biting people. That was, like, before that, like, remember when did I tell you a story when they were annoying an army of us boys and they kept recruiting more girls to sing Taylor Swift and chase us?
Wait, hold on. This is another incident entirely. You were singing Taylor Swift at girls to make them chase you?
Yes, her, I don't know why, but they think it's funny to, wait, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, they think it's fun to sing Taylor Swift and annoy a bunch of boys. So we just ran away. They kept chasing us. They screamed in our ears. I wasn't a part of this. I was just running with them.
He's like, I'm just a reporter on the ground.
That is a little reporter back.
So they sing Taylor Swift at you. You run away. They chase you down and scream in your ear.
Yeah, they scream in our ear. Like, Tori comes up, screams in our ear for no reason. Like, they're saying that we're taking the base when we just run to, like, a bunch of tables there next to the gate. And, the other boys scream in their ear back. And then Tori, you know Ethan, my best friend?
Sure.
No.
I thought Milo was his best friend.
Why did he call you? About the incident with Tori. Like, Tori, Dad called to ask about the incident with Tori. Yeah. So I'm telling you. Is that true, Ben?
Yes, he's being interviewed right now.
Oh. And then, Tori bites Ethan, my best friend, and then he starts crying. We go to a teacher, and then Tori starts crying because she blames us that she bit her own knuckle.
What?
She bit her own knuckle and said it was your fault?
Yeah.
Why did
And
she...
then she went to the nurses. I think got a pack of ice. Ethan did as well. But yeah.
I'm really picturing this Fiona looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
How dare you, boy?
Alright, wait, so Trace, get back to the main story.
Oh, do you also want to hear about the incident with Jordan today?
There's a new incident?
a new incident with Jordan?
I'm gonna put, so,
Oh
it
my
was a
God.
normal day, right?
We're never going to get back to the podcast, yeah?
I accidentally dropped a pencil on the floor, right?
Uh-huh.
He comes and says, say sorry to the pencil. I say no. He makes a whole paper about it. He says, say sorry to the pencil or else. And I said no again. What are you going to do about it? And he did the whole summoning ritual of hell in 666.
A summoning ritual of hell?
Yes. You know the star with the circle around it?
Yeah,
The
it's a
pentagram.
Yeah. He tried to sacrifice me
To the devil?
for not saying sorry to a damn pencil.
Alright, well, here's what you're going to do the next time he tries to do a ritual to sacrifice you to the devil. You just let him know that she's already your mother, so you're not afraid of her.
I said you would have to chase me around the whole school and do something else to get me to say sorry to a pencil.
I mean, that seems like an extreme situation to get you to apologize to a pencil.
And then he came running at me while we were packing up. And guess what he was trying to do?
What was that?
He was holding the paper out, attempting to sacrifice me to hell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any further questions, Cody?
No, I'm completely baffled. You guys, this is our field reporter.
Baffled about down to the third classroom with a teacher in it.
What?
The teacher was there.
The teacher was in the room while you were being sacrificed to the devil?
Yes.
Maybe she was in on it.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe she was the devil.
So is that why she said that she finally had the old Trace back when I said if there was anything I could help her with?
I don't know, I guess. This phone call has only been 6.5 minutes, but it feels like 20 or 30. Alright. I've got some stuff to take care of, so I'm gonna get off now.
What?
I got some stuff to take care of, so I'm gonna get off.
No!
Bye, buddy.
You'll be fine. Do your chores.
No!
Hail Satan.
Well, there's our field reporter. He's a junior reporter.
God damn, that 7 minutes felt like an eternity. Listening to children tell stories is just so mind-blowingly boring.
I'm getting him a little reporter badge.
Oh my god. All of that because we just wanted to know why she was...
We didn't even get the answer!
No.
We got all the other stories.
Just that she bit her own knuckle and said it was their fault. We subjected ourselves to that for no reason whatsoever.
He has a future in 19 Action News.
Oh my god. I wish we hadn't called that.
He's really in the trenches at that point.
Oh. Maybe the summoning ritual did work and he did end up getting sacrificed to hell because I would equate home to that.
I am just really I was trying to picture, how this is happening, it's trying to sacrifice me to the devil, and it's just, drawing a pentagram, and this kid thinks that that's what it actually takes, and I'm like, no.
Very curious because, did he sit there and draw out this pentagram, or did he have it already drawn out which is even more
It's
concerning.
like on his hand. He's like ready to go.
Right, just Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood style.
Starts doing like the Naruto hands.
Oh my god.
God, what is these? Oh, I mean, but I had some weird kids that in my school at that age, and it's funny because when my friend Emily eventually comes on here to guest host, she's going to talk about these things. But like, we had the kid who did the Naruto run. Did you ever have anybody that did that?
I think we've seen a few of them, yeah.
And that same kid had a hit list,
Oh my god.
and he wore a trench coat. And one kid, I can't remember what his name was, but I think his name was Chris, opened the door to where the bio lab, and this kid with the trench coat doing the Naruto run ran into it because it was a glass door, you couldn't see it. And so that was hysterical. But like, we had stuff like that. He had a hit list, and for some reason he didn't get in any fucking trouble.
Yeah, every time you hear about a school shooting, you're like, I'm really surprised it wasn't us.
Yeah. We had another kid who was 2 or 3 grades above me who left a cooler with a note saying it was a bomb outside the office.
Jesus
and
Christ.
nothing happened. And then we had the horse girl. The typical horse girl. Did you have one of those?
What do you mean the horse girl?
Oh, dude.
Was
The
she
girl-
acting like a horse?
Where she will gallop around the class, or like the halls, and she's like obsessed with horses, and she would ride horses.
I don't think so.
You didn't have one of those?
I don't think so. I think I might have been the weird kid in school.
Why?
I've got some stories.
Oh, I gotta hear some of these. But we had that, and then another girl who is awesome. I love this girl to death. She was one of my best friends growing up, but it was hysterical because she would do the lion roar at people if they got too close to her, so she would like roar at them. And that was always funny to see. And it turns out that she ended up growing up to be one of the gifted teachers at the school we graduated from. She's there now. So it's just funny, like some of these weird kids that you think in like your school turn out to be like pretty upstanding and legit. But the horse girl, I don't know what the fuck she's doing now. I think she's a nurse, which actually kind of tracks with horse girl lore. But yeah, no, I had some weirdos. So it sounds like he is going. Your son is getting set up for, what is he, 3rd grade?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna get fun for him.
It's gonna get real weird real soon.
It's gonna get real fun for him. Who was the kid? What was the kid's name who did the pentagram? Was it
Jordan. Yeah. This is a kid that I hear him talk about frequently, just crying in class because he doesn't want to do like math or whatever. So he'll throw himself on the floor and just start crying. Apparently, he's got a few kids in the class that will do that too.
Oh God!
I don't know how elementary teachers do it. I feel like I would have a drinking problem if I was a young school age student teacher.
Yeah, no, I feel like it kind of got worse for my grade once we got older. Elementary school was pretty tame.
So you didn't do weird shit when you were in elementary school?
I for sure did. I just don't remember. I remember being madly in love with this one teacher, Mrs. Carr. Shout out, Mrs. Carr. You were the babe. That turned me on to all the babes.
Talk about your
She
cougar,
kind of
huh?
looked like Shannon Doherty. Black hair, or like really dark hair, beautiful eyes, and like she would always have this treasure chest in her room, and she would like give you like tickets, and you can go get like Jolly Rancher suckers and stuff like that. And I remember, like, I wouldn't stop talking one day, so she took the sucker and, like, put it in my mouth, and, like, looking back at it now, like, that was a turning point for me.
Oh, look, we're back on Kinks again.
But, that was, yeah, so there was that, and, like, everybody knows about Mrs. Carr. But I don't remember, like, any of the stupid weird shit that I did.
It makes sense completely with what I'm going to tell you that I keep a poop log now.
Oh, God, why?
I might have been in, I want to say 3rd grade. It might have been 3rd grade. And we thought, me and my couple of best friends thought poop was the funniest thing in the world. And so we thought, I don't know what inspired it. I can't give you like an origin story. I don't know what started it. I just know that at some point we decided that because people would leave shit in the toilet and not flush, because you know it's an we like hold on, we didn't like grab it out and like give it a lick or anything weird like that, but we would grade shit that was left in the toilets. We had some kind of grading system, and we called ourselves the Gray Bear Patrol, and I spearheaded this organization and came up with it. And I can remember the two friends that were doing it with me.
The what?
The Gray Bear Patrol. The whole point was that we were to keep a lookout when we would use the bathroom to see if anybody had left a surprise in the stall. And then we would grade it based on whatever criteria we set at the time. And then we would tell each other about it when we saw each other again.
Kane, are you sure you like him? Did you hear that story? Kane's my dog.
And like second grade, maybe I can't remember.
That's when this is happening?
Well, that was like I think it was second or third, but there was a point in second grade where I think we were about to get like first time computer access in our classroom. They were going to have several computers that we could use during our free time or whatever, and I was so excited about using a computer in school and being able to play like SimCity Builder, whatever it was on there. I let out a pterodactyl screech and then started banging my head on the desk.
What?
I don't know why that was the go-to response, but I was like, ah! And then I started to smack my head on the desk.
What the fuck? Okay, well, I have a wildly different reaction for the computers. So I went to school in Ohio, obviously, because it's where we are. But I went to a school where we were one of the schools that got Macs and everything before everybody else because we were like a tester school.
Right.
And so we had like those old gray box Macintoshes. And I remember that was in kindergarten. So we played Oregon Trail. Mm-hmm. And somebody wanted to play it before I got to it, so I took a magnet and just completely went across the whole screen with it. And it was like one of those stick magnets that, like, when you were a kid, you had like you did it with crafts.
Yeah.
So I took it and I ruined the entire fucking screen.
Oh my god.
And so I went under our desks and we were doing reading time, and my teacher comes out and she goes, "Did you do this?" She's like, "Can you come over here and talk to me about this?" I was like, "I didn't do it. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I didn't do that." And I think to this day, up until right now when I admitted it, I think to this day I had like hammered home that I literally did not do it. But it ended up paying off because we got rid of those old shitty Macs and we got the brand new like colored iMacs and everything. And I will never forget Mrs. I don't know if I can say her name, but our computer teacher was so excited because we got the new iMacs with the DVD player in it, and it was when Bugs Life came out.
Was that the one that had the Bugs game on it?
Yes.
I couldn't remember if that was a Bugs Life. I think it was a Bugs Life game, wasn't it?
I think so.
I knew it was bug related, but I couldn't remember if it was.
And there's a robot game called like Automatic or something, which is a lot of fun. But we had like the DVD, and she was like super ecstatic. And weirdly enough, I remember that was when she taught us how to use hand sanitizer that day. In computer class, which I don't understand. But, yeah, so you were pterodactyling and I was destroying property.
I was going to say, we had vastly different school experiences where you were selectively destructive of property because you didn't get your way.
I didn't get my way.
And I was the weird kid who was just excited about poop that was left in the toilet.
And I think that was foreshadowing for my entire experience as an adult because I very much am... I'm not astrology, astrology girlies are into that, but I am an Aries, and I think that there are a lot of features within an Aries that, or characteristics of an Aries that describe me, and one of them is that, like, they have to be the leader, and if you ask any of my friends, they'll tell you, Cody has to be in charge, he needs to make sure that he's the one who's doing it, he has to, and I think that was, like, a turning point for me in kindergarten. Was making sure that I got my way, and getting my way was destroying a computer.
I think the statute of limitations probably passed on that. We can admit that openly now.
It is what it is. I'm an okay person still.
Let's see, how long did it take to try to use school computers for porn?
Never.
Did anyone ever try to get you to go to play the cool new RPG Penn Island?
Oh, yeah. But not at school.
Not at school. That was something that a couple of friends of mine in high school tried to get me to go to because we were big into RPGs and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, this is really cool RPG that you can play online called PennIsland.com," and I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a try."
Did you ever get conned into looking at Lemon Party?
No. I have heard about Lemon Party, but I never got
You're about to
caught
learn
into
today.
it. Why are we learning today? Didn't I learn last time with the fucking asshole?
I wonder if it's still up. It's not.
Oh no! I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Somebody.
No,
else.
so it used to be. It's a porn site now. So somebody took it over the domain. But Lemon Party was. And I wonder if any of you guys would know what it is. But. Okay, so I have to show it to you. But you're not going to see like the full version. You're going to see like an edited version. There's no nudity, so happy for you.
Happy for me. I'm fine with nudity. You act like I'm a prude.
But this was the image
On
when you would go to lemonparty.com.
but there was no.
It was just three really old men having a threesome, and it was just an image. There was nothing else to it, and for some reason, this was something that kids in like middle school discovered and would show it to everybody else.
I fear for what kids are going to show Trace in middle school.
Yeah.
Because I know the shit that we grew up seeing, and we grew up with technology.
We created the internet,
right?
What it is. So, like, I just cannot believe, like, how they already can, like, hack their Chromebooks at school. And all the shit that they can do that we weren't able to do until, we learned how to do MySpace coding. So they're ahead of the curve.
Right.
But we created the internet, which is hysterical to me.
I feel the need, since I said... current listeners, people who have followed me over from Overdue for Extinction, know about the poop log because it started during that show. But anyone who is new to this and us, and I just said, it makes sense that I keep a poop log because of my history, and then we just let it go into the ether. We didn't say anything.
Oh yeah, let it go to the ether because it's just like a regular day for me.
Well, yeah, it's a regular day for you, but not everybody understands what the...
well, then you can go on and talk about it. I have a feeling Kay and some of the people will be really upset, but
they're not going to be.
Reading.
They're not. But I have a perfect 1-star experience.
1 star.
Yeah, it was a bad one. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you before.
Wait, you're rating your own stuff though, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I rate my own experiences. Unless it's anything. Okay. Before I
think you need to give them an all-encompassing
before I get into what my grading of my poops are.
Oh god.
So, I watched TikTok where a girl gave a presentation at the end of, I think it was 2023. She gave a presentation at the end of 2023 where she tracked all of her poops throughout the year. And she, had how many poops, how many of them were, particularly smelly poops, how many of them were, just liquid mud, how many of them were solid, how many were notably, huge. I think what she was talking about, there was one that was, the length of her forearm or something.
Jesus Christ.
And so she gave this big PowerPoint presentation at, a Christmas party of her family gathering. And I said, I want to do that. So, since January 1st, I've been tracking my poops. When I poop, the duration of how long I was on the toilet. Not just on the toilet, because I like to also sit and watch TikTok for 20 minutes. So, I just track when I'm notably done pooping and I wipe. and then that's where I cut it off.
I do not endorse any of that.
So, durations, there's a grading the app that I use, lets you grade the experience on a 5-star scale. If it's fairly average, there's nothing notable or special about it. It just gets a 3 right down the middle. I think I may have given a 4. I don't think I've any 5s yet, but I do have a 1.
What is it going to take to get to a 5?
I think it has to be like Nirvana. You
reached Valhalla that day?
Yeah, you sit down, it just kind of flushes out of you effortlessly, and you're just that was a good ass poop. I feel relieved. I've had poops and I've noted them. Trust me, I did. Where I felt like I shifted my kidney wrong, and it hurts to walk afterward. So.
Oh my god.
Let me find you this 1-star poop, and I'll read it out loud. You remember when I got high and I read that review?
In the garage?
No, that was when I was in the living room, and Kristen was just sitting there like, I can't believe what I'm listening to.
Oh yeah, I do remember that one. I thought you read one in the garage though.
I may have. Let's see. Oh no, I don't have the ratings on my pad, and the app doesn't work. This might have been a 1-star. Oh, you'll remember this one. I sent you this one for sure. All right, so February 1st, 10:38 a.m. to 10:44 a.m. I was at work. Most of my poops are work or at home because those are the only two places that I am anymore. Maybe I'll break the record and do it here. We'll see.
Oh God, let me fix my other baby first.
I have given birth to the Antichrist. The devil came knocking this morning, and like a Mormon at my front door, I refused the visit. Didn't allow myself enough time before work for such luxuries. When he came back a few hours ago, I was annoyed but continued my business. Unable to break for the luxury of relief, as lunch approached... I can't fucking do this. As lunch approached, I saw him walking up the driveway, this time with axe in hand, demanding to share the good word. But when I tried to turn him away again, he said he would not wait. The monster that emerged as the door gave in to the assaults was a long and unforgiving creature. And when I thought my tribulation had come to an end, he brought with him a friend, like one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. My life may never be the same again.
I remember that, but I feel like I just read that for the first time, and yeah.
Oh, there's where I had bad diarrhea for like 2 days straight,
Oh,
so
no.
I just had constant, it's liquid as usual. I'm really trying to find that 1-star. It was so funny.
Wait, and then also, you have to talk about the fact that this is a social media website.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So not only can you track everything, your poops and all that on there, it also drops a pin where you can put, like in a GPS map, where you've shit before. And then other people who allow their data, not their data, but their profile to be public, you can see their little pin drops too. And if you click on it, some people are writing entries. I actually engaged with somebody over one of their poops, and we were exchanging back and forth. They just commented something really vague and said something about, well, that was different or something like that. And I was like, I'm intrigued about this stranger's poop now. So I said, different good or different bad, and then we just had this whole conversation carry out on the thread of their poop. It was different, and it got to the point where I don't even know how we got there. I was talking to them about them writing a biographical experience on their poop that changed their life, and I wanted a cut for giving them the idea, and I was going to be like their 10% editor or something. I don't fucking know. It got real weird real fast.
Where was this that it happened?
The poop?
Yeah.
I think it was Akron University campus. Or no, it would have been Kent, because I think I was at work when I was engaging with this post.
Now, please tell me you're not posting any pictures.
No, I don't post pictures. There is the option to post pictures, though.
How heavily are people utilizing that?
And I haven't come across any yet, but I also haven't started widely diving into people's...
I hope that you don't see anything.
I think I might have found the 1-star.
Well, I mean, we're already deep into it. Let's hear it.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, God.
This one was a whole 9 minutes of my life at work. That was a nightmare. I've had to shit for probably an hour now, but my body did not deem it as an emergency, so I decided to finish my work before visiting the Soul Snatcher 9000. As I neared the end of my work, the pinnacle of anal cramps occurred. My ability to walk was limited to slow, painful struggles, and as soon as I finished the workload, I made my way to the bathroom with all of the urgency of a slug trying to escape a hailstorm of salt. It's not over yet. I just wanted to check in with you and see how you're doing.
Damn it.
Concerned that anyone who might try to stop me would bear witness to the monster I would be forced to birth in my pants, I diverted eye contact while trying to figure out how to give the appearance of a normal gait while making it to the sanctuary where a hunchback such as myself would run to when shunned by the people of my city. What pursued inside my sanctuary probably requires the assistance of a doctor and an exorcist at the very least. The behemoth that left me a void in my soul easily exceeded my forearm's length. I believe I will now not only return to normal movement, but perhaps even increase in speed in my new lightened state.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was a fairly big one.
Wait, is this the one where you said that the guy saw you go in and come out?
That was another matter entirely. That was last Saturday at work when I was
God.
doing a double, and I had the chub rub on my inner thigh that prevented me from moving with the haste that was necessary.
Oh.
So here I am, writing not only the dates and the times so that I can give like an average length of time throughout the year, but I'm also keeping a journal. Some of them are just very like, I don't know what to say in the moment because like a funny inspiration hasn't hit. So like I had the one that I said we were going to get on the placard or that picture. I was going to put a portrait.
Oh, and I put it up
there.
here?
Yeah, it just says it is poop. And then this one from the 10th this month says a poop before the shower just as God ordained.
Okay, that is the worst.
You can't shower and then shit. It just ruins your
worst.
entire day.
The fucking worst.
Feels like the Matrix is broken.
Yes, it does, and I will agree with you. And that's probably the extent of me agreeing with you about anything with this poop log.
So anyway, I'm writing these very detailed, not really detailed. I didn't really like write the detail of like it slid out of me or anything like that.
Thank God.
I'm just trying to be very creative and funny with them. And then I'm going to take all of them at the end of the year and put them into a book for Kristen, the bookshelf. It's going to be every shit that I took and all of these creative journal entries.
Shutterfly has a scrapbook type book like this for this. That'll be perfect to print out.
Yep, that's
and you
something like
just put
that
a
I'm
little
going
poop
to
emoji
do.
on the cover.
Here's another one where I was half delirious at work. Halfway done with my Saturday double means it's time for the mid-show sponsor break. This week's episode brought to you by Mud Brownies. Are normal brownies too boring? Upgrade with Mud Brownies, made by mud slinging from my nether regions. If it sounded like a motorboat was sputtering out of energy, you know it was made right.
Oh my God! I don't know how you can shamelessly do this at work. I cannot go to the bathroom in public. I can barely pee in public.
There's been one dude who we seem to be on the same shit schedule because now I see his shoes in the other stall sometimes when I'm going, and I'm like, oh, I know exactly who this is. So he hears some of these horror stories.
Yeah, no, I cannot do that. I can hardly. If I'm in a public bathroom and someone else is in there, I still can't pee.
I can't do anything about it. If it has to come, it's gonna come. The alternative is to like shit in a trash can in the corner of the warehouse where nobody will find me, where I can bury my sin.
When you made mustard gas?
we can't talk about that until I find another job. Oh my god.
Oh my God is right. What in the actual fuck?
So towards the end of the year, towards our New Year's Eve celebration, we're going to compile all of this data and we're going to make a PowerPoint presentation for Kristen to enjoy.
And then she's going to get a physical book.
Yeah, and then she's going to also get a physical book as a Christmas gift, delayed Christmas gift, because it'll probably be after, because I want it to be as much data as possible. And let me tell you, you don't realize how little or much you are shitting until you're consciously tracking information. There'll be times where I go 2 or 3 days and I'm just like, I didn't shit? What is going on with my body?
What?
And then there'll be days where it's just like multiple in a row and it's like, can I stop shitting? Like
2 or 3 days?
Yeah. Which is amazing. It must be the Taco Bell building up.
Or all the monsters that you're drinking.
I don't know what you're talking about.
As you crack one and everyone can see that you're drinking it.
It's only my third one for the day.
How?
Well, it says you're allowed to have 3 in 24 hours.
I thought it was 2.
I don't think so. I think it's 3. Let's see here. I could read if it wasn't my eyes weren't jittery. I thought the can used to say.
I swear it's 2, because I know Red Bull is 2.
Just says 160 milligram of caffeine from each or per can. Not for children, people with sensitive caffeine, pregnant women, or women who are nursing. Maybe they took the label off or the wording off, and they're like, "Yeah, fuck it, do what you want."
That doesn't sound smart.
It's fine. It's like the one chip challenge that killed the teenager.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the one chip challenge. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I know what that is.
They stopped making it. Like the company shut down because a kid died during the one chip challenge eating one of the chips. So they decided to just be responsible and not put anyone else in danger. So they shut down, which was annoying because Kate and I were going to do it this year, or last year, I guess it was. But then they started going on Amazon for like $30 a chip or something like that. Ken, you're being a camera hog.
$44.
So now if you want to do it, you got to really pay a price.
$15.
15? That's a fairly normal price, isn't it? It was like they were like $8, I think, normally.
The Red Hot Reaper chip challenge. Oh, this is not the Pocky. That's probably why.
Yeah, that might be why.
So the Pocky is 44.
Yeah, Pocky's the one that
and
shut
it's
down.
Prime. But why did Pocky made other chips?
I don't think that they shut down everything. I think they just stopped doing the one chip challenge. I think they're still doing their other chips. Which is really disappointing because like it tells you not to do it, like if you're sensitive to all those things or whatever. Not that I had a particularly fun time with it when I did do it.
I didn't know that someone died.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but like at the same time also you weren't supposed to eat it if you have sensitive stomach or other health issues.
That is fucking insane.
Well, now that we've brought down the party going from my poop logs to people dying from the chip, you want to talk about some familial relations?
Are you talking about this TikTok?
Well, it is a TikTok. I found it because of a TikTok, but I have an article. So we'll talk about it then. Before we get to the article, because obviously, as you can see, the title is Man Learns His Son is Actually His Uncle Due to His Grandfather's Affair. I don't suppose you have a story of anyone cheating on you and getting pregnant, but do you have any interesting stories of someone cheating on you?
It's not interesting.
Just hurtful.
I just don't know if it's interesting, but I'll tell it. It just kind of sucked. It actually was Valentine's Day. It has to do with Valentine's Day. But I think I told you guys the story. My ex, who... It was like such a complicated scenario. But like we were always so on and off again, and she always had like boyfriends, and then like would always come back to me, but then like we would never end up being like official. The one time that we were official and everybody knew about us, well, everybody knew about us, but the one time everybody knew that we were exclusively together in this point in time was right around Valentine's Day. I think it was sophomore or junior year, and I had got the whole day planned out, and my like quote unquote like brother at the time, because he was somebody that like we grew up with, and my dad's best friend was his uncle, but him and his family moved to town, so like, but they were like really like they were not well to do or didn't have like much money, so he would share I would share my cell phone with him, and he would get it on the study hall hours that he had, and then when I had class he would take it from me, and he had study hall. So then when I was going to my free period, I was going to get it back. Well, I got the phone, and my inbox was deleted, but my outbox wasn't. So I'm seeing all these messages to the girl.
Right.
And he's like, oh, it's me. Because she thought it was me. And he goes, corrected her. He's like, no, it's me. And he goes, let's like meet. So they ended up both leaving school that day to what I can assume is that they fucked at her house. And because she had really, really good privileges, because she was like almost, I think she was like close to valedictorian or something, but she was also really rich, and her like family had a lot of like influence. So she was able to do like whatever the hell she wanted. And so I'm pretty sure they went to her house, because they definitely didn't go to his. And then came back, and I said something to him, and I was like, what the fuck? You're supposed to be like a brother to me, and this is what you did. And he just didn't give a fuck. He was like, well, what's the problem? He's like, I wanted her. And I was like, okay, well, that's fucking weird. So then they start dating, and Valentine's Day happens, and all of everything that I bought, I think he asked me to use. I'm pretty sure he like asked me, can I just like give him that stuff instead? I don't remember if that was really what happened, but there's a vague memory of that happening. And then they like got engaged while they were still in high school, which was really weird, and then broke up. And while they were together, and like right before they got engaged, she said to me, she goes, if you love me and you want to show that you love me, then you'll hang out with all three of us, and that'll show me that you love me, and then I'll be with you.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of fucked.
Not funny though.
No, not funny at all. Not funny at all.
You're like, I don't know if it's funny, but it is tragic.
I mean, it's not
I'm sitting here going,
funny at the things that I said.
yeah, it is tragic.
It's fucked up. But that is one of those things that has like jaded me forever.
I thought everybody had a funny breakup story. But
no, I don't
Jesus
have any.
Christ.
So I have a funny breakup story too. So I was dating this freshman year. I was dating this chick, and she liked to lick my tattoos and lick my beard.
I remember you telling me about this girl before.
When we would be in bed, she would lick my beard and she would lick my tattoos. And she was also one of those ones who would get drunk off of like one shot or one drink, which actually, like, kind of looking back at it now, could very well have been possible that you could have gotten drunk off of one drink because she was so small, but she would take the shot and then immediately be drunk. Like,
right.
It's like she thought that because she swallowed it, she was drunk already. So everything was like kind of just like blown out of proportion with her. And it got to the point where it was just like so annoying that I just like didn't want to deal with her anymore. And my birthday was coming up, and Jersey Shore was just coming out, and all of my friends loved it. We all loved it. And she knew that, so she got me season 1 on DVD, which, shout out to her, because me and my roommates all loved that show, and we watched it, and we watched it over and over again, and that was a lot of drinking for us. So thanks for that. But she knew I was breaking up with her, so she somehow got into my secure building of my dorm, which you had to have a key card for. Somehow got in, got to my floor, sat outside my door while I was like in bed drunk trying to sleep to go to class the next day. She sits on the floor and taps for 35 fucking minutes on the door to a beat. Not just knocking, but like literally to a beat. It was like, she probably was drunk at this point.
It's obnoxious as hell.
And I didn't answer the door. I couldn't answer the door. I was like, I'm just not dealing with this right now. And then when I woke up the next morning, the DVD was at the door, and she like left it on my door handle with like happy birthday. And that was how I broke up with her. So I definitely handled that the wrong way. Ghosted her, and then got drunk a couple years later and saw her out somewhere and went back to her house with her and tried to like win her back because I had regrets about it at the time, but then like I'm glad I didn't, because I think she has like 4 kids and I don't want that right now.
Jesus. 3 is fucking bad enough, I'll tell you. I think I told you about the girl that texting the dude next to me in bed about her tongue ring.
Yes.
Yeah. That was one of the. It was like her, and then I think 2 girls right after that both cheated. All 3 of them cheated on me, and I was like, I'm gonna go through a hoe phase now because obviously relationships aren't working. And that was when I was in my early 20s. But yeah, just for people who haven't heard that story, the girl I was dating at the time came over to my apartment to hang out with me, and we were laying in bed together watching a movie, I think, and she was texting the dude that she had apparently had blown right after she got her tongue ring. It was before she got her tongue ring, because they were texting about, she asked if he liked her tongue ring, and he said he couldn't wait to see it in person or something like that. And I asked her about it because I knew it was suspicious, the conversation that was going on. And she was just like, you're being over worried. You're not thinking about it clearly. Like, nothing is going on. And then she tried to fuck me to get me to stop thinking about it.
Of course.
And I was like, I still knew that this was not right, but I took the sex anyway.
I mean, who's going to say no?
And then afterward, I think I ended up confronting her about it. And I was the bad guy who she left because I just didn't trust her. But shortly before she broke up with me because I didn't trust her, she got, you have one of those phone screen protectors that you can't see unless you're looking on it. Because she didn't want me snooping on her phone anymore. I was like, that's not suspicious at all.
Yep. I mean, the only reason I have it is because I used to travel and I would sit on planes and I can't. Like, I would be on the phone working. I have a signed NDA, like a confidentiality clause, everything like that for work. And if I'm working on things on my phone, I can't have people looking at what I'm working on confidentially.
Right.
But I've just never changed it. I mean, because it's a good screen protector.
Unless you work for Ubisoft, then you can just willy-nilly have whatever is going on displayed on your screen for the public. Every Assassin's Creed game, they've had a leak because someone's always been sitting out in public on their laptop working on the next game. Yeah, and they do it like as a secret thing, but like they always have a leak where someone saw devs working on the game sitting next to them or whatever.
That has to be intentional.
Oh, it absolutely is. Because it happens every Assassin's Creed game. It's just like their way of
that's free marketing.
Letting a leak happen so that the public gets hyped for it.
Wow, I've never even heard about that.
But none of that is related to what we want to talk about here.
No, not at all. But that's what it is. You get off on tangents. So
all the time, constantly.
This person, this guy,
Samir Simpson Bay,
he found out that, like, I don't even, like, I'm trying to, like, wrap my head around this.
So what happened was this man and his girlfriend lived with his grandfather. I don't know if it was due to financial hardships. I don't think they tell you in the article or anything. But anyway, he was living with his girlfriend at his grandfather's house. And I think it was after they moved out, he found out she was pregnant. And he was super excited about it. And he was letting everybody know that they were going to have a kid. And then he found out when he went through her phone, because I think she was acting suspicious, that his grandfather was sending dirty texts to his girlfriend, who he had just found out was pregnant. So he pieced together, based on that they had been hooking up when they were living with him, and he believed that his son was actually his uncle.
Wait, so I just got to the part now where it's like he's actually doing the story time on it, but I'm reading texts, I'm reading quotes where it's like, he said that he found years worth of messages in addition to pictures and explicit stuff. How?
So it's been going on for a long while.
That is wild. If my grandpa was doing all that to my girlfriend and then ended up having a child, there would be complete cutoff from the entire family.
Oh, he didn't find out until the baby was born. Until the baby was a toddler, it sounds like. I scrolled down a little bit. It says the baby was watching YouTube on her phone while she was in the shower, said Simpson Bay. While the child was watching videos, however, the phone kept getting notifications and alerts. I grabbed the phone and it was text from my grandfather, he said. I started reading them and that's how I found out. That was right above where it says years of pictures and text.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm interested. I find it funny that I'm not the only one that can't wrap my head around this, because, not funny how, but just like I'm glad that I'm not the only one. But like someone's like, I've read this 86 times, I'm still confused. And the other person's like, I can't even get my head around this. And I'm like, that's exactly where I'm at. Wait a minute. My family drama that recently happened, is that what you were wanting me to talk about?
Family drama.
My aunt who got with her patient.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
Oh my god, I just thought of that.
I think your dog's eating the carpet.
Kane.
Oh, he's chewing his paw.
Yeah, he's always chewing his paws. He's got allergies.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Oop, he's gonna step on your computer.
Can we not? I know. You want attention. We're doing stuff.
Over here. At least you're being a good boy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all the information about it. Was just that it sounds like this baby was a toddler when he discovered it. So it's like a couple of years of having your family, that you and your girlfriend had this baby together, and then you find out this affair is going on. How old is the grandfather?
That's what I want to know.
Because this isn't this dude's dad. This is his grandfather.
Yeah, I want to know.
So
how old this grandpa
assuming
is.
he's like 20... I mean, obviously, people can have kids super, super young in their teenage years or whatever. But, like, I would assume that, like, 40, 50 years older than him. And
Yeah.
he's in his 20s. His grandfather's got to be at least 70.
I would think. And he doesn't look like he's in his 20s. Like,
Fucking
did
grandpa's
it say
got
he was in his
game.
20s?
It doesn't say what his age is.
He looked like he was a little bit older than that.
So even older than that would be fucking 80s than that.
Right. I mean, talking about fertility at that age.
Right, fucking grandpa's got... people are fucking corpses, though, and...
Oh my god. I mean, so that does remind me, like, because you were asking, like, familial situation. So, like, along with this article is a story that it's not necessarily... It isn't me at all, and I can't name any names, but it's a relative. Around Christmas time, they announced that they're getting a divorce and that they've already left. Apparently, I've already been separated for an extended period of time. Do you remember how many months it was? It was at least a while, right?
Yeah, I don't remember how long.
And so then she posted that she was getting this divorce. They've already been separated, and she's already living with the new boyfriend. That's fine. You're getting a divorce, whatever. It sucks for a family. But what is the craziest part is that she's dating a patient.
Jesus.
And so she's dating a patient who is not only a patient, but younger than her by a significant amount. And I'm pretty sure she's in her 60s. And I think he's in his... I thought he was in his 20s when this first happened, but I think... after we found out that, like, more has happened, that he might be in his 40s. So, like, it's not a terrible difference. But what's weird about all of this
it's
is
certainly
the fact
better
that,
than him being, like, 15, though.
Right, that's true. But what's weird about all of this is the fact that he's a patient. And she was taking care of him when they got into a relationship. So, like, it doesn't make any sense how... I don't even know if that's, like, even legal.
Right.
Because I thought, like, you weren't supposed to, like, ever form relationships with your patients. Maybe because she's a nurse, like, it's different. But, so, not only that, they're getting, like, they're together. She's his caregiver. She moved in with him. He's paralyzed. Is in a wheelchair. And he still lives with his parents. So, this 60-year-old woman now moved in with another 60-year-old parent. And is living
shit.
And they're sharing a trailer. It's like, I don't know how much space they're gonna have, but
oh my god, I couldn't imagine dating someone young enough that I was the same age as their parents.
Yes,
and being like, so what year did you graduate?
Right, it's so weird. And so, like, my whole family is still just like kind of just like shocked by all this. And then it was like kind of funny. It's not funny, like, really funny, but it was, like, one of those things where it's, like, you know how, like, everyone, you like to just, like, kind of watch things happen, dumpster fires on the internet and just, like, on TikTok or, like, comments and stuff. So the ex-husband was attacking everyone on this thread where she announced it, and I guess, like, she had, like, tried to stay amicable with him, but he was literally attacking everyone who was like, I wish you well, and he goes, you're not as religious as you say that you are, and like, blah, blah, I can't believe you'd even wish this, like, on this harlot, and just, like, calling people names. So I'm pretty sure he got removed, and, like, they're no longer amicable. And then he started doing, you know, like, that typical, like, you know, like, the typical, like, profile picture that people, like, the older people generation will pose, and, like, they'll always, like, it's, like, just them, or, like, it's their face, and, like, sometimes they'll have their hand on their hip or something like that. So he started doing that, and all of a sudden he went from being this like really large and in charge man who like we've always grown up to see, to now he is like a beanpole.
Yeah.
And he's posting pictures now, like it's like his dating profile on Facebook, where he's like, "Oh, I bet you guys all wondered where I got this weight loss from. It's divorce." And I'm sitting here, I'm like, holy fuck. But so the whole scenario is just absolutely bonkers to me, and that is the closest to like a wild situation that I have compared to this story.
That would be extremely unfortunate, though, and I suppose it's a situation a lot of us, especially in breakups, don't come across where, I mean, you see the side of it where you tell everyone, hey, it's over between me and so, and they're like, oh, thank God we hated that person. You're like, wow, I didn't fucking know that.
Right.
But he got to see everyone else say, wow, thank God you got rid of him. I'd be on there fucking attacking everyone too. You're like, oh yeah, your asshole smells more than you think.
Oh my God, right? Like I would be fucking losing it. So, yeah, that's the closest I've got to that. This guy finding out that his grandpa is his uncle, or his son is really his uncle, and his grandpa was the one fucking his girl.
I don't have anything like that. I don't think. I think I had a couple of cousins who were like first cousins to each other, end up going after each other, knowing that they were related. They're just like, it's who we love. It's whatever.
That does not compute. The math is not mathing.
It's not finding out your grandfather knocked up your girlfriend.
No, I know, but like, I just can't
even
even imagine being in love with a first cousin.
No.
Oh.
Just something for you to ponder, I guess, until next week's episode.
Which is really funny because my cousin, who has a fan club, one of my really close friends growing up, and still is, but when we were younger, tried to get me hooked up with her. We didn't know we were cousins at that time. And it didn't go anywhere. And that didn't even happen. But it was just funny to find out, like, we were cousins. And, like, I tried to tell her this story, and she doesn't remember any of this story. And I'm like, but it happened. And, but I just don't, I could never imagine, like, actually, like, going for a first cousin. Or even a second cousin.
And then you see all these TikToks where people are like, we fell in love when we dated for a while, and then we found out we were related, and it's like, what do we do now? It's like, you absolutely break the fuck up.
Did you see the one where the two women were doing like that dance, and then they like go back, they go forward and they go backwards, and it was a mom and a daughter, and they're like, we both just broke up with our boyfriend who they were both dating. They were dating the same guy.
No, there was a recent, who was it now? God damn it.
And I can't even imagine knowing that your daughter is dating your boyfriend, and then you all just continue to date each other. Like, what? He goes into one bed and then the other at night? Like,
there was a celebrity, I don't even remember who it was. It was only a couple of days ago. My brain's such a fog lately. It was like, so-and-so's sister comments on her and their mom's ex-boyfriend or something like that. I was like, what? And I went through the comment section because I was like, there might be something comedy golden here. And I was going through the comment section, and somebody explained it was like a dude that the sister dated, they broke up, and then like years later he started dating the mom or something, which is still a weird dynamic situation.
wait, isn't that what happened with the Cyruses?
That's what it was?
Yeah,
that's
Noah Cyrus was dating the jailbreak guy.
Yeah,
prison break guy.
It was Miley giving her like comments on that whole situation.
Yeah, so Noah was dating something Purcell, the guy who was from the star from Prison Break, and then Tish got married to him.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yes,
and I was like, my mind was like, I get that they're not talking about like he slipped out of the one's bed and into the others, but like all the same, I couldn't imagine dating within the same family.
No.
There's
also Angelina Jolie who used to make out with her brother.
I didn't hear that, but that's weird as fuck.
You've never heard that? Where they would like kiss like full tongue on the red carpet together?
No.
Oh yeah.
That's so disappointing.
I know, because she's like one of the loves of my life.
It's like finding out Mila Kunis has a penis.
And with that, we can wrap up. And we will see you next week.
In the meantime, we have a Facebook group up and active and a Discord now.
Oh yeah, the Discord's fun.
We don't have a link yet.
I don't know how active anybody really wants to be using Facebook, but like if you're there, like us, follow us.
Just look up Great Friends, Okay People. We are there. Mostly right now it's just posting clips of our TikTok, which you can also find Great Friends, Okay People.
And if you just want like a community to chat bullshit, throw rated R, rated X, any kind of, actually not rated X, rated R memes into like some, general meme dump.
I don't know. Didn't Kay post that one photo of the gaping asshole cereal in it?
Oh God! Okay, well that is not an invitation for any of you guys to be sending those types of things in there because that is not what we want it to be.
I created a very specific channel where people could post memes that were maybe like political or religious or something where it was just like, hey, not everybody's gonna love these memes, but here's a place where you can put it, and then this is like the worst of our group can enjoy these memes. And people are just posting like gaping assholes being treated like bowls for cereal.
Oh God. Oh God. And she thinks your poop logs are terrible.
Right.
So yeah, there's that. But yeah, if you want just like a general community area, the Discord, you can come on that too. But look out for also TikTok being like kind of like where we post bloopers and stuff, and just funny shit.
Oh shit.
So with that, again, we will see you next week.
All right. We may not be the world's greatest people, but let's see what at least we're not fucking our grandson's girlfriends.
But we are recruiting children to be reporters.
Man, I was real concerned where you were going with our recruitment of children. I was like, I said some off-the-wall shit, and then I joked about Bill Cosby again, and people being able to take that joke better than the women he date raped
did. If we can use your son...
and you're like, and we're recruiting children. I'm like, whoa.
If we could use your son to do field reporting for us, that'd be hysterical.
Oh, shit. All right, thanks, guys. See ya.